Good morning. Welcome back to Automate Live. I'm your host for this little segment, Nikki Gonzales with the Automation Ladies, and I'm joined by Jake Hall, the Manufacturing Millennial. And our guest today is Bryan Sellars from SICK. Welcome, Bryan.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good to see y'all.
Absolutely. So today we've got big show, lots of commercial stuff going on, but also a lot of educational content, educational providers. What is sort of your goal with SICK here at the show regarding education?
Yeah, so with SICK, so SICK is a German company, of course. Our U.S. headquarters in Minneapolis, and what we've trying to do there, we have our inventory there, we have product management there, and everything like that. And we would have a bunch of products that were just sitting around collecting dust, if you will. And so over the last couple of years, I've kind of gathered all that stuff, and I've gotten in touch with a lot of schools, a lot of 2-year and 4-year schools, and just kind of made those products available if they could use them in some way. And so, with SICK, we really don't see education as a revenue stream. We see it as an investment. And so what we're trying to do is just kind of get, our brand out there, get our name out there, and kind of see if I can get us all a win, right? So I'm getting SICK a win because we're getting the name out there. I'm trying to get these schools a win because they're getting their hands on literally tens of thousands of dollars worth of industrial grade products that they paid nothing for. And then I'm giving these products basically a second life because we kept them out of the scrap heap, kept them out of the landfills and whatnot. And so it's kind of everybody wins, and it's a really fun thing that I've done, and it's been really great. I've had a lot of engagement with a lot of schools, but hearing from those schools, seeing the reaction from the professors and from the instructors, it's really great. It's very encouraging, and yeah. So I've kind of, in my career, I've gone from sales, direct sales, distribution management, product management, and everything. I have to say this is one of the most fulfilling positions that I've done as I'm on the downhill slide of my career. I'm not. It's like I tell people, I'm not trying to count or trying to climb that corporate ladder. I'm counting the rungs to the bottom. So in the waning years of my career, this is definitely the most fulfilling thing I've done.
And so when you look at what manufacturers are asking for, one of the biggest things is the people graduating from high school and college don't have the right skill sets that they need to be able to directly get plugged in and make an impact on the manufacturing floor. So when you're working with all these different programs that are out there where you're bringing product into colleges, into universities, what do you see as a successful program that is going to help reskill and train this next workforce to be ready for hitting the ground running? What should a program have that you see SICK partnering with?
So one of the best programs that I've seen is the Mechatronics program. And for those that don't know what Mechatronics is, it's kind of a beautiful blend of everything that someone would need to know to go to work at a manufacturing facility. It's robotics, it's sensors, it's PLC programming, it's wiring, it's pneumatics, it's all the stuff that's under roof at your, run-of-the-mill manufacturing facility. And when you get into Mechatronics, you get a little flavor of all of that. So I see the best students that I've seen that are the most qualified, the most capable at age 20, right? They go in, it's a 2-year degree. At age 20, they're coming out, they're going straight into maintenance technician role, automation technicians, manufacturing technicians. They're going into these roles. They're making good money. They're starting their career, not a job, right? It's a career. And, with benefits and retirement and all that kind of fun stuff. They're not delivering pieces, but, I see that as one of the most sound things that someone can get involved with if they want to get into manufacturing. And right now, manufacturing is one of the most stable jobs, I think, out there because we have so many manufacturing positions open and not that many people to fill them. Yeah. And so if you want to get a job, if you want to get benefits, want to start your career, look at manufacturing because it's not going anywhere. I mean, all the things we're doing, we're trying to reshore. If anything, it's just going to get bigger. And so we need more of these students to fill these gaps and quality, employees that can go out there and really make an impact.
Have you seen a growth, mentioning the Mechatronics programs? I agree with you. I think that they produce incredibly skilled employees that are cross-functional, which is really what the manufacturing sector needs. But when I think when I first started talking about mechatronics programs about 10 years ago, they really were few and far between. Are you seeing more and more of them pop up as you interact with more schools?
Absolutely. And what I'm seeing is, so you're right. Mechatronics kind of got their start in the 2-year schools, your county schools, your community colleges, that kind of thing. What we're seeing now is that's bleeding over to the 4-year schools.
Okay.
And so to me, I won't say you've arrived, because I don't believe that's vindication just by going from a 2-year to a 4-year school. But when the 4-year schools are looking at it to include in their curriculum, I think that right there really makes a statement at how powerful it is and how much it brings to the student and what all they can learn from that.
Absolutely.
When you look at the SICK partnerships that you're putting out there, remember we talked earlier this year at the Collaborate event with Universal Robots is one.
Right.
You guys work with Festo Diadact.
Yes.
What are some of these other partnerships and programs that SICK works with that this audience should be aware of to continue to grow and push education?
Yeah, absolutely. So, people like Festo Didactic, they make the trainers that would basically go into these mechatronics programs. It makes it kind of like a smart factory, if you will. You can buy all the different components. You can build your own little factory. There are other companies out there that are doing a lot in the space, also in the trainer space. And one of the ones that I've met recently is a group called Roots Education Company out of Venice, Florida. Those guys are doing incredible stuff, not only on the college level, they're actually doing a lot with the high school level. There's a lot of high schools in Florida that are getting funding from the state to basically enhance their call it their mechatronics programs. They're starting to get into it. And so they're building stuff not only for the post-secondary, the college level, but then they're getting into the high school stuff. And so to me, I think that's great. The younger you can hit them, the better. Not saying, you need to, in preschool, start doing STEM or anything like that. But on the high school level, you've got these kids that are going to be coming out of high school with maybe a lot of the education that they wouldn't get until they got into college. And now when they go into the college ranks, they're even that much farther along. So, yeah, Roots Education Company, keep your eye on those guys. They're doing great things.
Awesome.
So you say you've got, and I know this is something that you kind of started informally, right? Your garage inventory and getting that over to schools rather than going in the landfill, which I think is just an amazing thing to do. But now that you're working more in the education space officially, and speaking of Roots, what are some of the newer technologies that you guys are introducing into the education space from SICK?
For sure. So, just like everybody else, AI is king, right? And so we're developing a lot of things that use AI, specifically in the robotics guidance, vision-based robotics guidance, and then also vision-based quality control. So, imagine now you're doing what they call Lord, how did they put it? Instead of like drawing boxes and doing measurement tools with everything you're trying to do with 2D vision, now you kind of show it what you want it to see, and you show it from a few different angles, and you train that image. And now what it does is it learns that, and then you can do classifications, you can do quality control, anomaly detection, easy for you to say. And so we're seeing a lot with that machine learning, which is based on AI, but it's used a lot in the, like I said, the vision guidance and the quality control, and that's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
When we talk about attention, one of the biggest things that I always like seeing is you guys have a program where you have a grand prize where a group of students can go over to Germany,
right,
for a year.
Right.
It's about that program. What does it look like, and how does that just get this next generation excited about the industry? They have a project. They're using, I think, the SICK LiDAR sensors, right?
Correct.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, correct.
And then the project that is most successful or deployed, or tell us about that program, because being able to take kids who might not have never been able to travel before, fly them to Germany is a pretty cool thing.
And I'm in charge of them, which I've told people, if I'm in charge, something's gone horribly wrong.
Crazy they've done it for more than 1 year.
7 years. 7 years.
Now.
7 years. Yeah, we started this 7 years ago. So, yeah, it's called the SICK 10K Challenge. And the reason we call it 10K is because, guess what? The winners win 10K. We take a product, in this case, it is a multi-layer LiDAR product that we have called the Multiscan. And if you think about the way industry and academia typically interact, it's industry going to the school saying, hey, we have a problem, help us find a solution. What we do with this contest is, hey, we've got a solution, go find a problem. Yeah. And so they take this product and they use it in the development of some kind of solution to solve some sort of real world problem. and it's a year long, starts in September, ends in March. The students, we take 15 teams a year, and they basically come up with a project. They give it to us. We judge them, a judging panel of people at SICK, and the top place gets $10,000. We take them to Germany for a week. We weren't able to take them last year, just unfortunately due to some budget constraints. But yeah, when we take them to Germany, it's awesome because, to your point, this would be an opportunity that not a lot of college kids. Yeah. I never had an opportunity to travel.
Not at all.
I barely had an opportunity to get out of the state.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about taking them out of the country, taking them out of the time zone, taking them out of the hemisphere. So it's really cool. We've done it for, like I said, we just finished our 7th year.
Yeah.
And in the fall, it'll be our 8th year of doing that. So
that's
yeah,
amazing.
Keep an eye out for that because we really want to get a lot of great teams in there and a lot of different teams as well, just to see what kind of innovations people can come up with.
Absolutely. And it's a great thing. You're giving them the technology that they're going to find on the manufacturing floor, but be able to experience, use it, test it while still in college, while still at university, and then figure out what are some real world applications that we can deploy these.
And not only that, but we've had teams in the past go on to take their solution and turn it into a company.
Wow.
So there's a company out of Boston called Civil.ai. They do infrastructure measuring, infrastructure inspection. That was their project in year 2 of the SICK 10K challenge, and now they're thriving. I see them on LinkedIn all the time. They're doing great.
That's amazing.
They're great guys, brilliant. Holy smoke, they're so smart. Thank God for smart people.
Yeah.
The world don't need more of me. The world needs smart people to invent things, solve things, and make everything better. So, thank God for small. They give me hope for the future. How about that? Doing this gives me hope for tomorrow.
I love that. I love that.
These kids are incredibly smart. And with all of the AI that we have available now, I think they're so primed to pick it up faster than the rest of us.
Oh, yeah.
That really I have a ton of good hope for the future. But I think it's also very cool to do this with the international travel, because I think when kids look at the manufacturing industry, they don't necessarily think that it's an opportunity for them to get out and about, to be able to experience different cultures or high technologies, which really is the future of manufacturing. And, this industry is very international. I mean, yes, we have a lot of great U.S. companies, but so many companies like SICK are, were birthed overseas somewhere, but obviously this is an incredible market for them here, and they've got long-standing presence in the U.S.
Right.
And it's an incredible opportunity for kids to go into manufacturing because so many of the companies are also international now. They operate in different countries, and I've seen more and more manufacturing engineers that get a chance to go do projects overseas at different plants. So getting the word out about just, how prolific this industry is and the ability to go and meet companies and see factories all over the world.
Yeah.
It's something that I think most people don't know about.
Well, and I mean, and to add to that, your career path goes so many different ways in this. I mean, I started in sales, just happened to get in this industry because they were hiring out of college. And so that took me to Japan for a trip out there with this company. And SICK has taken me to Germany and other spots in Europe. But I mean, the career path for me has just gone so many different ways. And, again, if you're a mechanical engineer or a business major or whatever, if you get into this industry, there's so many different things you can do. You're never going to be painted into a corner. You can always do something different. And it's always going to give you opportunities to go see different things, experience different cultures, and really just meet a lot of great people that are also in this industry. And it is a small industry. I mean, it's a big industry, but it's a small industry, right? Yeah. I mean, we all know the same people, it seems like. We all run, I mean, heck, me and you were hanging out in Boston a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly.
Jake, I mean, we'll be hanging out some more, ProMat and other events and other conferences. So yeah, I mean, it really becomes like a little family, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah. So you who are watching and listening today, your call to action is getting involved with education, understanding and learning what partners like SICK are available right now to bring resources and also the knowledge and just the training that exists to help move our industry forward when it comes to workforce. It's really exciting to have you here today, Skippy. Really appreciate, Bryan Sellars, aka Skippy, as well.
Thank you, Jay,
Thank you for joining us today, along with my co-host Nikki Gonzales for Automation Ladies. I'm Jake Hall, the Manufacturing Millennial. We'll see you guys soon.
See ya.